and we're going to talk about the new Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania trailer. No, but don't have to watch it. I think it's more to do with obviously what things are leading up to here, and obviously what Kang has been doing in the past. Kang has killed Avengers before. That is the headline from Screen Rant, John. And I'm just Marvel Entertainment has shared a new promo for the film. If you've checked it out, we haven't yet. May react to it, I don't know. But
Ladbrokes.
Highlighting more of its action and teasing Kang's abilities. What is more striking is that during a confrontation with Scott, Major's villain asks if he has killed him before, suggesting that Kang the Conqueror has defeated a number of Avengers.
So he's asking Scott Lang, have I defeated you? Have I killed you before?
How would he know?
Yeah, I know, it didn't make any sense, Kang.
That don't make too much sense.
I think he's just been full of hubris. He's saying, have I killed you before? Are you one of the other bitches?
Yeah. Are you one of them Avenger things?
Yeah. I mean, I've killed so many of you. I mean, have we met?
Yeah, it's a
well,
strange
if we haven't,
one.
then I'll kill you this time.
But it does say the fight between Scott and Kang the Conqueror will likely lead to an emotional outcome. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The idea that Kang has killed other Avengers before makes him a dangerous antagonist looking ahead at some of the MCU's future projects. And if Scott can find a way to defeat him, it is worth wondering if Ant-Man will be part of the next Avengers film. Those looking forward to learning more about the quantum realm and threat posed by Kang can be sure to check out Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania when it premieres. John, this is one of the things I'm looking forward to, other than obviously Kang making his full film debut, is delving right into this quantum realm. We didn't really do too much of it.
I'm just laughing at you, Steve, the position you're taking.
Yeah, I know, it's as if I'm falling asleep here. Do you remember that night I was falling asleep when you and Ruth were talking about a film, and I was like, I need to get in my bed. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning, and I'm absolutely shattered, and we're talking about a film. An hour after we finished watching it, I'm like, fucking hell, man.
And the room was so warm.
Yeah, it was the summer as well. It was
warm.
Ridiculous. And I'd been out in the city centre and for work purposes, and I was absolutely shattered. And I was like, oh my God, can we just end this, please? But you can't do that when you're live and you've got a guest on. That's not fair. And I'm only joking when I say that. I was just tired, and that's the way I was there, wasn't I? I was like, the fight between Scott and Kang the Conqueror will likely lead to. But John, I think. Do you know something? I think. I've got a funny feeling Scott's going to kill him in this film.
Yeah. Well, he could. Yeah. There's so many variants.
I think he
has to kill him.
And I think it's the idea behind that. My theory and the idea behind that is really to propel Ant-Man.
I think the two of them could die
into a more thought of character, because he is a joke figure just now.
I think the two of them could die. They're pushing the daughter.
Yeah.
The daughter is grown up. They've recast her with a better actor. Sorry to the other person who acted. Clearly she's better.
Recast again, John. It's not the same.
Recast? Another one?
Well, the original girl was too young to play the 5-year jump.
Yeah, but
so it's the one that they play.
It's the older one. The older one they
recast again.
They recast her again with a potentially better actor.
I see when we were watching that in the Endgame, and I was like, she looks about the same age. I think it's Paul Rudd because he looks so young.
Yeah,
I was like, they look about the same age. It's too weird.
There's something going on there. That man's sucking on fucking newborn babies' pineal glands and trying to get youth eternal. That's one of the sort of big conspiracy theories. Yeah. The elite in the world try to get access to pineal glands, and that gives them youth eternal.
John, the quantum realm.
Fucking at it.
The quantum realm, though. We're going to really spend a lot of time in this place this time. We've only really spent maybe about 20 minutes in it, or something like that. I can't remember.
It's not been long. No, it's not. I think perhaps the sort of cumulative time spent over the first two Ant-Man movies, we were in it in the first. I think we appeared in it briefly. They used it as a conduit, didn't they, for time travel? Yeah. In Endgame. Yeah. We've not been in it very long. No. Not long at all. We've got brief looks at it. Funnily enough, thinking of that, I always think back when I think of the quantum realm to a fucking photo appeared on my phone random. My phone had been sitting in my van at that point, and there was an image taken of the fabric on the seat. And Stephen, I shit, it was like atoms. It was the weirdest fucking thing, and it always
That's some zoom on your phone.
It was weird, man. I'm telling you, it was a crazy fucking photo, and I could not recreate it, and there was no explanation for this image that appeared on my phone. It was bizarre. It was like the fabric of the seat, but it was hyper zoomed.
I always remember you
It was
picking
like
up
Quantum
I think your phone in the car one time. This was years ago, and there was a collage of video and of your cats and music getting played. It was so weird.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Fucking hell.
When your cats were saluting.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's so bizarre.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I remember that. Weird things happen with my phone, but it always reminds me when I hear of Quantum Realm. I think that's what the Quantum Realm's like, because it's like these big floating particles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went off on a tangent again. It's been one of those kind of shows for streams. Needless to say, Stephen, I think you're absolutely right, man. We're going to spend probably the entire running time of this movie, or if not 90% of it, in the Quantum Realm. And what they're doing with it in the trailers, it excites me tremendously. It's like something out of a fucking magical mystery tour, the fever dream that John Lennon dreamt up. When you see all of those Scott Lang's Ant-Men, because I'm going to call them men, plural, reaching up to this strange thing. And I think it's at the same time he narrates, I don't have to kill you, but I always fuck this quote up. I can never get that quote right. I don't have to kill
Batman
you.
Begins.
We just don't have to. I just don't have to lose or something like that. It was like Batman Begins.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They did it better.
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd did it better in the trailer than what I'm doing. It was a great quote, but there was some weird visuals.
I'm looking forward to
It's
this.
an insight into the Quantum Realm, Stephen.
One of the things I love about...
Were you on the show? Was it a solo show? Where I spoke about what they're doing with Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie?
A solo show, yeah.
Stephen, what's your thoughts on that? I need to get your thoughts on that. I thought that was fascinating. That's one of the standout things that they're dabbling with in this new movie. The fact that Michelle Pfeiffer, her Janet Van Dyne character, lived an alternate life in the Quantum Realm. She's a freedom fighter, well known in the Quantum Realm.
Oh, she spent a lot of time in there, so she must have been up to something, and it makes sense.
So
I think it gives her character some dimension as well, John, because she, up to this point, she's too similar to the Michael Douglas character. I feel she's just like the female version of his character, Hank Pym, and I think give her more depth and and a backstory as well, and it makes sense because she spent, I don't know about how many years she was in there for, but it was a long time.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that she's familiar, and she's a familiar face in that universe as well.
My dog's snoring. It maybe felt even longer to her as well, because it's almost like this infinite place, isn't it, existence where time stands still.
Well, I think it was reversed for Scott, because they said he was in there for 5 years, but it felt for him, for 5 minutes or something like that. So I don't know how it works. Yeah,
maybe it changes in terms of
visually though, John. I think they're at that point now. We've seen it in Doctor Strange, the original film. We've seen it obviously in Ragnarok, where you can go to these strange and crazy worlds.
Yeah,
and we've seen it in obviously the Multiverse of Madness, what they can do with the technology now in terms of making people's face into blocks and falling apart and all that.
That was a great moment to be fair.
We saw it, I think, was it in Infinity War? Just Thanos' power when he was turning the Guardians into different things, like the rolled up hands and stuff like that. It's like something out of Beetlejuice.
I'm thinking about everything everywhere all at once now. Sort of
hot dog fingers.
That weird sort of mating dance where they flick the hot dog fingers off of their waist. Gives me the creeps.
Oh,
Jesus
weird.
Christ.
Yeah.
And then it's in the mouth, and it's the
film.
ketchup and
the mustard.
The mustard. Put me off hot dogs for life. If the sort of arseholes and lungs that are inside the actual hot dogs.
Sort of smoked.
Yeah, it's not good, isn't it? I mean, I like hot dogs. I do like. I'm partial to a hot dog and a sort of German sausage, but it's nearly put me off it. So thanks for that, the Daniels. Bastards. But yeah, I mean, Stephen, I'm looking forward to this. It doesn't surprise me. Kang's potentially killed Avengers in the past. When it was announced he was going to be the next big bad, Jonathan Majors was going to be portraying him. I looked him up, and by all accounts, he's this sort of Time Lord. Goes through time, goes to famous battles, intersections in history, and takes all the acclaim, changes the events of time themselves, kills people, becomes a sort of conqueror, if you like.
Yeah.
That's what he does. That's his raison d'etre. I think that's the second time I've said that potentially in this show, and it will be the last. So it doesn't surprise me that he's went back and met various Avengers over his multiple variants and killed them. And this is part of what makes the character so compelling. and why I'm really excited to see Jonathan Majors' performance, because he is all powerful, he's omnipotent, he's here, there, everywhere, to quote Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
And what he's going to bring to that performance, not just in this movie, but multiple movies leading up to those double-header Avengers movies. It's going to be exciting times, man. I'm praying.
I think we're going to see different versions of him in these two Avengers films as well.
Oh yeah.
But I think we're going to see different versions of him leading up to that, and this is just one of them, John.
Wouldn't it be great if he fights himself at one point, almost like Captain America in Infinity War or
Yeah.
Endgame? That is America's ass.
Yeah.
Something like that, but it has more stakes, more emotional impact. Where it's the ultimate evil version and the ultimate good.
There must be a good one out there, yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of seen that, a wise version who became burdened with overseeing the sacred timeline in Loki. So we've seen less malevolent versions. So, I mean, there's so much potential with the character. That's why I'm so excited, without to beat myself, that Majors has been cast, because he's a brilliant actor. He's got the energy, he's bringing it in terms of the physicality. Really exciting to see what this guy can bring. He's always going to have the issue of being in the shadow of Josh Brolin and Thanos, who for me could be one of the greatest cinematic universe.
It's all about building it up, John, and I think they're doing it the right way. I mean, you've got to remember that Thanos didn't really make a big appearance till Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's when he really stamped his authority. Before then, it was just like end credit scenes and stuff like that, and
it wasn't even him.
And you know, it was very intriguing. But I think what they're doing with this character Kang is the right way. They're introducing them in different ways. I think as well, John, because there's different variants, and you mentioned the one that was in Loki, and then we're going to get to see this one in Ant-Man.
Warrior one,
It's you'll not know how to take this guy, because they're all different versions of the same character, and it's I just think it's great.
It's a dimension it adds as well, Stephen.
Another dimension.
Start meeting this guy and becoming aware of him as a threat, and he does start popping in as different versions, maybe ones that want to help. You're going to have that trust issue. You're going to have it's so fascinating where they're going to take this. And one thing's for sure, you know, Feige and the creative team will have everything laid out already. They're probably already working in sort of raw cut versions of the actual Avengers movies,
and it shows the acting credibilities of Majors as well, John. That can bring someone in that's going to be, it has to be very versatile in terms of how he portrays this character in different versions of the character as well. What I'm looking forward to the most is that, unlike Thanos, we knew what he was all about. We knew, don't trust a word he says. He's evil, he's bad, he believes what he's doing is good, but it's not. With this character, I don't know how we're going to take him. We are going to be like one of the characters in the film. We'll not know how to take this guy.
That's good.
And that's what I like. But anyway,
and
we're going to
move.
In
this movie, we're not going to know how to take him.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to manipulating.
We're going to move on anyway, John.